Hello, hello, my beautiful YouTube family. How are you, gorgeous beings? I'm Ananda, the Galactic Mystic, and this is Navigational Astrology. We have a gorgeous Pisces new moon. Let's get into it. So unfortunately, I don't have any beautiful nature shots to show you today. It is still just raining here, and the river is high and brown with mud. The ground is soggy, and the swamp of sadness in my backyard that I spoke of in my last video continues. So I'm ready for spring. I'm ready for this rain to stop. And, we have a Pisces new moon. Pisces is mutable water, but this new moon is conjunct Saturn, which is a bit of a life raft. When I was tapping into the energy of this new moon, the image that I saw was the difference between floating in the water or swimming in the ocean alone by ourselves versus the difference of having a life raft, something solid that we can hold on to. And Saturn makes things real. He makes things manifest. It gives us something to hold on to, something to work with in our real life. While Pisces is a nebulous energy, a dissipated energy. This is very much the drop of water dissipated into the ocean, while Saturn comes in and gives us something to work with. Now, this is a highly karmic situation. And while, yes, a lunation is technically one new moon to the next new moon, in navigational astrology, we take a wider view. We look at this energy of a new moon carrying us until we have the next full moon in that sign. So in this case, this new moon will carry us for 6 months until our next Pisces full moon, which will be the end of August, and will also be conjunct Saturn. So this theme is very clear and loud. So instead of calling this the moon of the life raft or the boat of safety, I'm actually seeing this as the moon of breaking spells, because for this period of time, for the next 6 months, we have an incredible opportunity for something to come into clear awareness that we have not seen before, and to make actual steps and change in our life that is real, that changes our earthly life. So let's take a look at this chart. So this is actually a super new moon, will be occurring February 20th, 2023 at 2:06 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And here we have our Sun-Moon conjunction at 1 degree and 22 minutes of Pisces. And then here we have Saturn conjunct at 28 degrees and 10 minutes of Aquarius. So Saturn is bringing boundaries to this energy. Pisces energy is not one that has natural boundaries. Saturn is like, hey, here you go. I'm going to give you something real to work with. We are awakening from the dream. We're becoming aware of the spell. Here's a life raft. Here's something to hold on to and something to work with. Now, if we look at the aspects we're working with here, we have a supportive energy with Venus sort of holding hands with us, like, all right, let's do this with love. Let's keep our emotional sensitivity within the boundaries that Saturn is giving us. So we're not going to sort of go dead inside. We're not going to wither. when we allow our emotions to die or to turn off that part of us that is compassionate and loving and sensitive, we shrivel up and die. So we're not doing that. We are working with our emotions, with our sensitivities and our intuition, our dreams and inspirations. That's actually the fuel for this. With Saturn as a platform, a supportive hold to do this very important work. I love this. We have a gorgeous novile with Jupiter, one of the rulers of Pisces. And this novile is it's an energy that breaks the feeling of being alone, of alienation. This is an encouragement to seek others, to open our minds to other people's thoughts, ideas, and perspectives, and to allow that to exist within our own framework. We don't need to shut down other people in order to be in sovereignty. True sovereignty is being able to exist in that ocean of all the other stuff and to still know who we are. And Saturn is helping with that. We have a gorgeous creative quintile with Uranus. This is the spark of creativity that brings in new ideas, new ways of doing things. This gives us access to problem solving that we did not have access to before. We also have this incredibly supportive sextile with Venus and Pluto. This is, again, another intimacy, encouraging support from the universe, saying we're not alone. We're not meant to be alone. We are pack animals. We need each other. And a sextile with Venus and Pluto, and look, they are, this whole situation with the new moon and Saturn is existing within this beautiful hold of Venus and Pluto. This energy helps us see what we have been doing to reduce the level of intimate connection in our lives. This brings in depth. We're not, nothing surface level can exist here. This is deep, karmic, and highly magical, and supported by love and sovereignty. I mean, does it even get any better than that? This is truly remarkable energy. So think of this for the next 6 months. Think about what you are awakening to. What spells are being broken? What illusions are coming to the forefront and then dissolving? This may have something to do with, ancestral healing, with our own personal journey, with our own natal Saturn. Saturn holds, Saturn in navigational astrology, one of the things he represents is our energy of denial, what we have been denied, and what becomes our responsibility to reclaim and embody in this life. So whatever your personal Saturn lessons are, take them up consciously for this next 6 months. I mean, take them up always, but this period of time is fertile with the opportunity for real change. It's that kind of thing where we don't know what we don't know. And all of us are always sort of operating within that in some way, in some form. So something we don't know is going to come up for us to work with consciously, intentionally, and on purpose. Awakening from the dream, breaking the spells. There's also a whole situation with, I mean, I know I said ancestral healing, but sometimes we carry the spells of our ancestors, the curses, the collective Saturnian energies of denial in our lineage. And for some of us, it's our job to heal that. So if this is you, you will know what I'm talking about. This new moon is conjunct the fixed star Enif. Now, Enif is in the constellation of Pegasus, and it means the mouth of Pegasus. Now, this is pretty interesting because Pegasus was created from rape, the rape of Medusa by Poseidon, and was born via the murder of Medusa by Perseus. When Perseus cut off her head, Pegasus was born from her neck. And, you know, we hardly have a more clear representation of triumph, victory, transmutation of ancestral trauma and overcoming adversity. But we can't overcome anything if we don't know what we don't know. And so this is the gift waiting for us, this freedom, this triumph and victory that will restore our ambition, our intuition, our enthusiasm for life. Saturn is a harvest god. So we know that there is a time thing. There's an incubation period. And that's why I'm mentioning this in a wider view of looking at this for the next 6 months until the full moon, the Pisces full moon in August, because it takes time to do this good work. We live in a world that has trained us to want things to be automatic, to get things really quickly, and to not have to sit with it, to not have to endure something and work with it for longer periods of time. And if we're not willing to do that, we won't get the rewards that Saturn has to offer. I say it all the time, and I'll say it again, that Saturn is the guardian of the gates for everything we want. We have to pass his tests, and his tests are generally not what we think they are. And because his tests are generally not what we think they are, we think of him as a restrictive energy. And it's that restriction that holding us still long enough so we can see what we don't see, so we can know what we don't know. And as we sit with it, we will likely experience every emotion under the sun, and that is okay. That's fine. It's meant to be that way. Let's just go ahead and get over this sort of conditioned belief that if we feel a negative emotion, we are then dipping into a lower vibration. Human beings are meant to experience their full range of emotions. It's what we do with those emotions that really matters. Feeling them, not bypassing them. We're not going to love and light them away. That's a trap. And Saturn holds us in it so we can learn that valuable lesson, so we can spring forth like Pegasus. You know, when I was a little girl, my mother, my mother was really good at nurturing my fantasy world. I have a natal Pisces moon, so that, I lived in a fantasy world anyway. And my mother, she told me fairies are real, elves are real, Pegasus is real, unicorns are real, it's all real. And so I would spend a good chunk of my time looking at the sky, waiting to see Pegasus. Probably was the beginning of my love for sky gazing. But Saturn does not want us to give up that the child's dream. He wants us to embody it. This new moon is also conjunct a supermassive black hole in the middle of an elliptical galaxy that's also a radio galaxy called NGC 7052. Now, that's not a very sexy name, but this is a pretty sexy black hole. This black hole is 300 million solar masses. So that's like you take 300 million of our suns, the mass of our sun, and that is the mass of this black hole. It is 3,700 light years wide. So we could travel at the speed of light for 3,700 years. And that's how long it would take to get from one end to the other. It's pretty spectacular. So this galaxy, this radio / elliptical galaxy, also has jets coming out of it, and that's the radio emission part of it. So there is energy, there are messages coming from this area of space. And whenever we have jets, there's an energy of polarity. And polarity is not bad. Polarity is what gives us creative energy. Without polarity, we have nothing. Without polarity, we are just sort of existing and floating, and we don't have any juice. Think of a battery. Without the polarity of positive and negative, there's no energy. So add that to the concept that a black hole is both a beginning and an end. We don't know we don't know what is on the other side of that black hole. But we do know once we enter it, once we step into the gravity of this situation, there's no going back. We can only move forward to whatever is on the other side. And in this situation, Saturn is guarding the gates of what is on the other side. And he requires that we be mature, dignified, that we allow time to be our friend, that we allow the incubation and gestation period of the situation, and that we take our magic with us. We don't lose our soul. We don't lose our humanity. So let's allow ourselves to open up to what we don't know. This is very exciting. So I hope that this new supermoon and the next 6 months that we will be working with this gorgeous alchemical energy, I hope that you bless yourself with it. Let me know how you are. All my love to you. May you experience the deep peace of the open sky. I will see you very soon.